The less you care, the happier you are. In life, people are often caught up in the endless cycle of ambition, worries, and unnecessary concerns. The saying, "the less you care, the happier you are," may initially sound like an avoidance of responsibility, but in reality it holds a profound truth about how to approach life. The ancients had a saying, "Knowing contentment is wealth. Knowing when to stop brings peace." Life becomes complicated due to greed and envy. Those who are obsessed with material wealth never feel satisfied, while those who seek to control everything around them are constantly under pressure. However, when we learn to care less about unimportant matters, our minds become lighter, and happiness naturally follows. A classic example is the story of Zhuangzi. When his wife passed away, he grieved briefly, but soon returned to his peaceful life. His student criticized him for being heartless, but Zhuangzi responded that life and death are simply part of nature. He could not hold on to the past at the cost of losing the present. His inner peace did not mean he lacked love. Rather, he refused to let sorrow bind him. Ancient wisdom that illuminates life's truths. 1. Life is never perfect. 10 out of 10 times, 8 or 9 will not go as planned. This saying is a deep reminder of life's reality. We often expect things to go our way, but life is full of imperfections and unavoidable hardships. If you constantly dwell on what is lacking, you will exhaust yourself. Instead, by accepting that disappointment is a natural part of life, you free yourself from unnecessary burdens and find joy in what you already have. 2. A peaceful mind brings clarity. When the heart is at peace, the soul is refreshed. Our minds are like a lake. If stirred by too many worries, the water becomes muddy. But when the mind is still, everything becomes clear, just like a tranquil lake reflecting the blue sky. By worrying less and not letting emotions be swept away by negativity, inner peace and happiness will naturally arise. 3. Do not let the opinions of others dictate your life. Living in society, we are often affected by how others see us. We fear judgment and criticism, trapping ourselves in unnecessary anxiety. But the ancients taught that it is impossible to please everyone. Once you realize that no one is universally loved or free from criticism, you will learn to let go of the pressure and live true to yourself. 4. Knowing contentment is true wealth. Happiness is essentially the ability to appreciate what we have. A greedy person, no matter how much they own, will always feel lacking. In contrast, someone who embraces simplicity and gratitude will always feel content. This philosophy encourages us to recognize the value of the present rather than chasing endless desires. When we are satisfied with what we have, we are no longer burdened by comparisons or cravings, and inner peace follows naturally. 5. Do not be overly joyful over gains or overly sorrowful over losses. Life is a constant flow of gains and losses. Clinging too tightly to either extreme leads to suffering. If you are overly excited about acquiring something, you will also be easily devastated when you lose it. True stability and happiness come from maintaining a balanced mindset, unaffected by external circumstances. 6. Only a calm mind can reach great heights. The journey of life is full of obstacles, but what truly wears us down is not external hardship, but internal turmoil. A calm person is not free from challenges, they simply know how to face them with composure. Only by reducing anxiety and distractions can we go further, endure longer, and find joy in our journey. 7. A non-attached heart naturally finds happiness. Life is impermanent, and true happiness does not come from clinging to things we cannot keep forever. The more we hold on, the more suffering we invite. But when we allow our hearts to flow naturally, without excessive attachment, joy arises effortlessly, like a gentle stream nourishing the soul. 8. Fate may be predetermined, but how we live is up to us. One of the greatest sources of anxiety is believing we have no control over destiny. However, the ancients taught that while fate may set certain circumstances, how we respond is entirely our choice. By worrying less about what we cannot change and focusing on what we can, we find true freedom and happiness. 9. No one is perfect. Not even heaven can satisfy everyone. This reminds us to embrace acceptance. We often set high expectations for ourselves and others, yet perfection is unattainable. Letting go of the need for perfection allows us to be at peace with ourselves and those around us. Learning to love imperfection is the key to inner tranquility. 10th, stop seeking complexity. Peace will naturally follow. In a world filled with competition and endless pursuits, we often overlook the beauty of simplicity. Peace is not something distant. It comes when we stop overcomplicating life and start appreciating the present moment. When we let go of unrealistic expectations, life suddenly becomes lighter and more fulfilling. 11th, human nature is inherently good. Every person has an innate goodness within them, but we sometimes get lost in worries and distractions, forgetting our true nature. The ancients taught that when we nurture kindness and reduce unnecessary concerns, happiness will naturally follow. Often, returning to simplicity and authenticity is the key to inner peace. 12. A still mind nurtures wisdom. What is meant to come will come. We often chase after success and recognition, forgetting that peace and happiness do not come from desperate striving but from clarity of mind and right action. When we slow down, act wisely, and let go of what is beyond our control, we find that what truly matters comes to us effortlessly. 13. Aging teaches us that inner peace is the greatest treasure. As we grow older, health and material wealth may fade, but our inner world becomes more important than ever. To live a fulfilled life, we must learn to let go of worries, be at peace with ourselves, and cultivate harmony with those around us. A peaceful heart allows us to cherish every moment. 14. Love and relationships are the essence of happiness. Whether with family, friends, or a partner, meaningful relationships bring the deepest joy. Without them, life feels empty and lacks purpose. When we worry less about trivial matters, we become more aware of the warmth and significance of the connections that truly matter. 15. The ancients once said, acceptance is strength, letting go is wisdom. Life is always full of uncertainties, and we cannot always control every situation. Sometimes the only way to relieve stress is to learn to let go of what does not belong to us. The more we cling to the past, regrets, or fears, the more we imprison ourselves. When we learn to let go of unnecessary burdens, not only does our soul become lighter, but we also open ourselves up to new opportunities and beautiful things. 16. The saying, water wears down stone, reminds us that everything in life changes over time, just as flowing water erodes stone. Difficult situations and challenges will not last forever, and neither will happiness if we do not appreciate it. If we constantly fight against circumstances or worry about the future, our minds will remain unsettled. On the other hand, by cultivating patience and calmness, everything will pass naturally, and happiness will gradually come. In reality, patience is one of the key strengths that helps us overcome challenges while maintaining inner peace. 17. Truth is not something we find, it is something we feel. This saying suggests that truth is not a distant concept we must strive to grasp. Rather, it exists in our daily emotions and experiences. Sometimes life does not require excessive analysis. Simply feeling the peace in each moment is enough. Only when we live with mindfulness and truly experience each second can we understand what true happiness means. 18. Nothing is more precious than the tranquility of the soul. In the midst of a hectic and noisy life, it is easy to lose our inner peace. The ancients reminded us that inner tranquility is the most valuable treasure one can possess. A peaceful soul allows us to perceive life more clearly, free from fleeting emotions or external influences. Only when we create a serene space within ourselves can we truly enjoy happiness to the fullest. 19. The ancients emphasized that in life, if we set too many goals or expectations, everything becomes stressful and difficult to achieve. Conversely, when we live without excessive perfectionism and without clinging to desires, happiness comes naturally. In reality, the best things often come when we least expect or worry about them. Spontaneity and non-attachment are key elements of a peaceful and happy life. 20. Live each day fully in the present. Life exists only in this moment. We cannot change the past, nor can we predict the future. This saying encourages us to embrace each present moment without letting our minds wander into endless worries. Every second holds its own value, and once we realize this, we no longer feel a sense of lack or regret. Pouring our love and attention into what we do allows us to understand that happiness is not a destination but a journey. 21. One who can maintain inner strength will not be swept away by life's currents. The ancients taught that when our soul is steadfast and unaffected by external circumstances, we can find peace amid life's fluctuations. Imagine life as a boat sailing on the sea. When strong winds blow, the boat may tilt, but if you hold the helm firmly, it will stabilize and overcome the waves. Similarly, when you learn to keep your soul steady, free from worries, ambitions, or external changes, you will experience true peace and happiness. Life does not need to be overly complicated. What matters is mastering your emotions and not being carried away by things beyond your control. 22. Success is not a destination, but a way of living. Success is often misunderstood as a milestone to reach or something to compete for. However, the ancients taught that true success is not about where we arrive, but how we live and face challenges in life. When you stop obsessively chasing goals and start enjoying each step of your journey, you will find joy in the simplest things. The essence of true fulfillment lies in living each day with care, love, and appreciation for yourself and others. 23. Knowing contentment is happiness. This ancient wisdom reminds us to be grateful for what we have. People tend to constantly seek more, something new, something better, something greater. However, happiness does not come from possessing more. It comes from appreciating what we already have. When you feel content, you no longer feel deprived and life becomes lighter. Contentment does not mean settling or giving up. Rather, it means recognizing and valuing the present blessings in life. 24. Doing well in the present is the best way to ensure a good future. Do not let worries about the future make you forget the present moment. The ancients taught that the best way to build a bright future is to focus on what you are doing right now. Small daily actions gradually create a solid foundation for your life. By concentrating on the present and doing your best in each moment, you are, in essence, accumulating happiness for the future. 25. Life may be rushed, but the soul does not need to hurry. Modern life often makes us feel like we are racing against time, always multitasking, always striving for immediate results. However, the ancients taught that while life may move quickly, our soul does not have to. Rushing only adds stress and anxiety. Slow down, allow yourself time to reflect, and savor the small moments in life. When you stop being swept away by the fast-paced world, you will feel more peaceful and free. 26. A peaceful heart leads to a peaceful world. This wisdom teaches that when your soul is at peace, you can see the beauty and goodness around you. Inner tranquility is the key to perceiving and creating a positive life. When you are not overwhelmed by negative thoughts or blinded by worries, everything around you becomes more meaningful and beautiful. The less you stress, the more you can appreciate the wonders of life. 27. Peace does not come from the outside, it comes from within. This saying emphasizes that true peace is not something we can find externally. Rather, it is something we must cultivate from within. While we may not be able to change external circumstances, we can change the way we perceive and respond to them. If your heart is nourished with calmness, love, and understanding, you will feel at peace no matter how chaotic the outside world may be. Do not let external factors dictate your inner state of mind. 28. The ancients said, "Being poor without worry and being rich without arrogance is a wise and serene way of life." A person who finds contentment in their circumstances, whether rich or poor, can maintain inner peace. Anxiety about wealth, career advancement, or success often leads to a restless mind and unnecessary pressure. When you learn to accept your situation with humility, you will experience freedom and happiness. 29. What comes, let it come. What goes, let it go. In a constantly changing world, there are things we cannot hold on to forever. This ancient wisdom teaches us to accept change and let go when necessary. Nothing is permanent. Everything transforms with time. When you embrace this truth, you will feel less anxious and more open to whatever life brings. Peace comes not from holding on too tightly, but from knowing when to let go. 30. Work in silence, love with simplicity. This saying reminds us that in a noisy and chaotic world, we must find stillness to work and love. When we live with simplicity and sincerity, unnecessary worries and complicated emotions fade away. Stillness is not just about the external environment, it is also about the peace within. It helps us work more effectively and maintain relationships with genuine love. The less we are preoccupied, the deeper we can live and find happiness in the simplest things. 31. It is better to be an ordinary person living happily than to be a great person suffering. The ancients reminded us that we do not need to struggle excessively to achieve grand things and, in doing so, forget the value of peace and happiness. Happiness does not come from becoming great or standing out, but from inner peace and contentment with what we have. We are often caught up in the race for recognition, fame, or wealth. But if we do not know when to stop, we may lose the serenity of our souls. Therefore, sometimes, living a simple yet fulfilling and happy life is the most precious thing. 32nd. No competition, no regrets, no sorrow. In a world full of competition and challenges, the ancients taught us that if we do not fight or compete, we will never feel exhausted or anxious. Peace comes from not putting too much pressure on ourselves to compare or seize what does not belong to us. When we have no regrets or sorrow over the past, we feel freer and more at ease. Life is not a race, but a journey of self-discovery and the enjoyment of simple moments. 33rd. Calm the mind to understand everything. The right actions will follow. In today's fast-paced world, we are easily swept up in the whirlwind of work, worries, and the pursuit of success. The ancients taught that to understand ourselves and the world, we must first calm our minds. When the soul is at peace, we gain clarity, distinguishing between what truly matters and what is not worth our concern. From stillness, our actions become more correct, neither rushed nor mistaken. This allows us to live efficiently and meaningfully without being distracted by external influences. 34. The more you let go, the freer you become. Life is full of things we want to hold on to, relationships, memories, and unachieved goals. However, the ancients emphasized that the more we learn to let go of things that do not belong to us, the more space we have to live freely. The past cannot be changed, and the future cannot be controlled. Learning to let go does not mean giving up. Rather, it is a way to free ourselves from things that no longer serve us or bring us happiness. 35. Silence is golden, but action is diamond. This ancient saying reminds us that while silence helps us stay calm and think clearly, Action is what truly creates results. We can reflect on life, but if we do not take meaningful action, our thoughts hold no real value. Happiness does not come from merely contemplating it, but from acting with love and dedication in every step of life. 36. Happiness is not something to search for. It is something to experience. We often get caught up in searching for happiness, thinking it exists somewhere in specific conditions or at the achievement of a particular goal. However, the ancients taught that happiness is not something distant, but is found in experiencing every moment of life. Happiness comes from living fully in each second, feeling peace and joy in simple things. It is not a destination, but a state of mind when we embrace life as it is. 37. Nothing is more valuable than inner freedom. Freedom is not just an external right, but an inner state of being. The ancients taught that when we free ourselves from worries, endless ambitions, and rigid concepts of success, we attain true freedom. This kind of freedom not only makes life lighter, but also brings deep peace to the soul. When we are no longer constrained by societal expectations or life's pressures, we can truly live authentically and happily. 38. Everything has its time. The ancients advised that we cannot always control everything in life. Everything has its own time. What is meant to happen will happen, and what passes does so for a reason. Instead of worrying about the future or regretting the past, we should live fully in the present. When we understand the rhythm of time, we learn to wait for good things to come naturally rather than forcing what cannot be controlled. 39th. A happy person is one who appreciates simple things. One of the most valuable lessons from the ancients is learning to appreciate life's simple joys. Happiness is not something distant, but is found in small moments: a delicious meal, a peaceful afternoon, or a warm greeting. When we cherish simplicity and live authentically, we experience happiness in those little moments. Happiness is not a goal to be achieved, but a process of living mindfully and peacefully. When we understand this, life becomes lighter, more meaningful, and more fulfilling. The less we worry about things beyond our control, the more we find true peace and happiness. 40. Listen to yourself to understand life. Modern life keeps us so busy that we often lack time to listen to ourselves. The ancients taught that to understand life and find happiness, we must first listen to our inner selves. When we take time to understand our emotions, needs, and desires, we are less likely to be swept away by external chaos. Listening to ourselves helps us recognize what truly matters and live a life aligned with our true selves, unaffected by external opinions or events. 41. No matter how hard life gets, perseverance leads to happiness. The ancients pointed out that difficulties are unavoidable in life, but perseverance and resilience are the keys to overcoming challenges. Happiness is not something we receive instantly. It is the result of patience and learning from every struggle. When we refuse to give up and continue striving, we will be rewarded for our endurance. True happiness is found not in immediate success, but in the journey of overcoming hardships. 42. Live humbly, and happiness will come naturally. In today's society, we are easily drawn into showing off our success and wealth. However, the ancients taught that humility is the true path to lasting happiness. When we live simply and without pretension, we experience inner freedom and are not burdened by others' expectations. Humility also helps us maintain genuine relationships because we live not for recognition but for creating true value for ourselves and our community. 43. The world changes, but the soul must remain steady. The ancients taught that while there are things in life we cannot change, how we respond to them determines our inner peace. When material possessions shift, relationships evolve, or things do not go as planned, inner stability keeps us from being shaken. Happiness is not about permanence, but about maintaining peace, clarity, and patience in any circumstance. 44th, a tranquil heart leads to a peaceful life. A calm mind is the key to living a peaceful and happy life. The ancients advised that when our soul is clear and unburdened by worries, life feels much lighter. The modern world often pulls us into stress and anxiety, but only when we master our own minds and stop letting uncontrollable things disturb us can we truly live fully in the present. 45th. Life is like a book. Read each page with appreciation. The ancients taught that each person's life is like a long book, and every day we write a new page. Instead of rushing to the final chapter, we should cherish every moment and every experience. When we live with gratitude and awareness, we realize that everything in life offers a valuable lesson. Happiness comes from living in appreciation and recognizing the beauty of life, even in its smallest details. 46. Happiness lies in inner peace, not material wealth. The sages emphasize that material possessions may bring temporary comfort, but true happiness can only be found when the soul is at peace. What you own does not determine your happiness. Sometimes inner tranquility is what makes you feel truly fulfilled. When you let go of unnecessary desires and stop fixating on possessions, you will find joy in the simplest things. 47th. Understanding, love, and gratitude are the keys to happiness. Ultimately, the sages taught that understanding and loving both yourself and others is the path to lasting happiness. When you appreciate what you have, life feels more complete. Happiness is rooted in gratitude and sharing. When you take the time to love and cherish those around you, love and happiness will naturally return to you. 48. True freedom means being free from greed. The ancient wisdom teaches that freedom is not about doing whatever we want, but about liberating ourselves from endless desires, greed, and attachments. When the soul is no longer bound by unnecessary cravings, we experience true freedom. Uncontrolled desires only lead to a sense of lack and dissatisfaction. Learning to live simply and appreciating what you have will bring inner peace, and happiness will follow naturally. 49th. Simplicity is the source of tranquility. In today's fast-paced world filled with pressures and ambitions, we often forget the beauty of simplicity. The sages believed that when life becomes too complicated, it is the simplest things that bring us peace. Reconnect with the joy of simple moments, a quiet morning, a good meal, or a loved one's smile. Simplicity lightens the burden on your soul and creates space for you to feel happiness in every breath. 50. Be serene, like water, strong like stone. One of the most profound lessons from the sages is the balance between serenity and strength. Be calm like still water, unaffected by external turmoil, yet strong like stone, unwavering in difficult situations. Finding peace within does not mean giving up on effort, rather it means facing challenges without letting them disturb your inner tranquility. When you live with stability and calmness, you will realize that every hardship is merely a part of the journey to happiness. Final thoughts. Dear friends, the wisdom of the ancient sages offers invaluable lessons and deep life philosophies. Happiness is not a distant destination, but a journey, and this journey becomes lighter and more fulfilling when you maintain inner peace, live authentically, and cherish every moment. Let these timeless teachings be a guiding light, keeping you steady on your path to happiness. Wisdom in life sincerely thanks you for watching today's program. These insights from the sages are not just simple advice, but profound lessons on living a peaceful and happy life. Happiness is not a final destination. It is a journey. Only when you live true to yourself, love deeply, and appreciate what you have will you find true peace within. May these words inspire you to live fully and keep growing. If you find this message meaningful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video so we can spread positive values together. Once again, thank you for your companionship, wishing you peace and happiness in every step of your journey. See you in the next program and have a wonderful, peaceful day ahead.